After installing Shattered Space, we can grav jump into an unused system to find a new space station.
Never seen a station like that before. Certainly isn't Freestar.
This is Sirac on the Starfield Oracle. We are experiencing anomalous readings. Members of the crew have been analyzed. Do not repeat. Not board.
We now get a new quest called What Remains and can board the Oracle.
This is Sirac on the Starfield Oracle. We are experiencing anomalous readings.
As we arrive, we notice that there's zero gravity on the station. We can search around for clues to find out what happened here, but we don't find anything in this room, so we can move forward. As we leave this room, we see dead crew members floating around in the hallway.
Better we get it than someone else.
At the end of the hallway, we find a ghostly figure named Sirac, who appears to be having an afterlife crisis.
I cannot give up.
And he disappears so we can move on into the next room. In this room, we start to hear whispers from the Great Serpent. We can look around, but there's nothing of value in here, so we keep going. In this room, we find two more ghostly figures.
Basira, hold on. You are strong. Concentrate. I'm trying, Sirac, but it's getting worse. I can feel my mind slipping. Fragmented. I'll become one of them. You have to get away from me. No, I will not leave you here. It's pointless. We share this fate. This is our end. The great... No. No, it's happening. Sirac, run. I can't stop it. Basira.
And she turns hostile so we can take her out. Once we do, Sirac freaks out.
What happened? Who did this? I see no one, and yet I can feel a presence. But how? I should be the last. Is someone there or... My mind turns against me. I must return to engineering and make one last attempt to restore the power.
After that, we get a new objective to find the engineering controls and an optional objective to get Sirac's 4 logs. On Basira's body, we find an Oracle access card, a good amount of credits, and Basira's log. Great Serpent, there are so few of us left, and while I have spent my entire life in devotion to you, I find myself afraid of death, of what is to come. Perhaps we are the cliché, delving too deep into things better left unknown, paying the price for trying to glimpse too much. Forgive us our curiosity, our selfishness, our pride. We only wished to truly find you, but it seems we will still meet in the traditional way, in death. Now we can use the Oracle access card to open this door. In this room, we find more bodies and a strange blue plasma-like substance on the walls. In the middle of the room, we see a weird snake-like structure, and it's surrounded by vortex phantoms. After we take them out, we can get a closer look at the snake structure, and we can only assume it has something to do with House Varun. Turning around, we can now continue our search for the engineering controls. Back here, we find a little room with Syrax log number 1 on a table.
This is JVYZilla. Post-incident log. Something has gone horribly wrong. We were in orbit directly above Dazra, monitoring our current experiments when we experienced a sudden energy surge. I fear the source came from the city itself. It triggered our graph drive and jumped the Oracle to an unknown location. We thought members of the crew were somehow lost in the jump. But later, we were attacked by what I will refer to as vortex phantoms. I thought I recognized some of them. Could it be that the energy surge has somehow transformed them and warped their minds?
In this same room, we find an Oracle engineer, and on his body we find Ebora's log. I am writing this in what may be my final moments because Basira thought it might ease my mind, but I believe that is an impossibility given the circumstances. After arguing with her for longer than I would like to admit, here I am, writing regardless. I believe I have come to accept my impending death. Perhaps my greater faith in the Great Serpent allows for this. My colleague, Emerson, has succumbed to his weakness and retreated to crew quarters. You would think our Chief of Engineering would have a greater resolve. It is a good thing I am no warden, only a lowly scientist. Unlike many, I have no friends or family that will miss me, and the feeling is mutual. My one regret is not having the chance to complete the path of redemption one last time. Now that I have written some, I know for a fact that I feel no better. I will, however, take great pleasure in telling Basira she was wrong. Now we can click this button to find the engineering controls and continue on in search of the engineering bay access card. Now we can return to the main room with the snake-like structure, and at the bottom of this room, we find Syrax log number 2.
This is JVYZilla. Post-incident log. After the initial jump, areas of the Oracle have somehow been sectioned off by strange energy fields or barriers. The fields allow no one to pass and are somehow able to repel, almost teleport, the trespasser back. I am certain these new fields are related to the vortex phantoms. Both resonate with the same energy pattern, the exact same pattern we were studying for Anasco's experiments. Something happened in Dazra. And if the situation is bad here, I fear for our brethren in the city.
Now we can continue on into what looks like a cafeteria. And here we find more vortex phantoms. After taking them all out, we can go down the hall and find a door that leads us to a big food storage area.
It's pretty on brand for House Varun to grow their own food and be self-sustainable. No help from outsiders, or chunks to go. It's some kind of food storage area. Maybe there's a switch or something to unlatch these crates.
Now we can hit these buttons to eject the food storage crates. And then we get attacked by more phantoms. Now that the path is clear, we can continue on, fighting our way through the next room.
Bring up another errand.
In the top corner of this room, we find a hatch we can go through. This brings us out to a bathroom area. Outside of this area, we find living quarters in the downstairs, along with another phantom.
Looks like these are living quarters. It's more cramped than a gym locker, but hey, beds, billiards, what more do you need, right?
There's nothing of interest down here, so we can keep moving. Going upstairs, we find the engineering bay access card on a bed, guarded by a phantom. Now we can take the card and we get a new objective to access the engineering bay. We can grab some ammo in here before leaving. In the next room, we find Sirach's computer. Entry 1. Something terrible has happened. While I try to remain analytic in my logs, I find myself terrified for all of us here aboard the Oracle. We have lost so many already. We had no time to prepare. How could we when it is our very friends and co-workers who turn on us in an instant? And even if we had proper time to react, how do we bring ourselves to kill those same people? Entry 2. The Oracle has jumped again, spurring on a second wave of transformations. We are losing too many too quickly. And what if the station continues to jump? Corin and I tried to reach the operations center to see if we could regain control of the station, but it is overrun with aggressive phantoms. Corin did not survive. May the serpent embrace him. Basira enlisted my aid in creating a new protocol for the Oracle to follow if we can only reboot the mainframe. Perhaps Nadine can help us connect to the operations controls through my computer here in order to install it. Entry 3. Thank the Great Serpent for small victories. Nadine was able to help us connect to the operations mainframe and install the new protocol. Now all we need to do is force the Oracle's mainframe to reboot and hope it prevents the random jumps we are experiencing. Once rebooted, the Oracle is now programmed to return to Varun Kai's orbit and transfer all of our research data. All we need to do is last long enough to reboot the mainframe. Somehow. Only a handful of us remain. Nadine, Basira, and Taurus. Nadine believes we can force the Oracle to shut down if we reach the engineering bay, but we all know that our hostile brethren await us there. And here on the counter, we find Sirach's log number 3.
JVYZilla, post-incident log. The Oracle has continued to jump. It is completely out of our control. Not only that, but I believe the initial surge of energy we experienced is transformative. With each passing day, more of the crew succumb to whatever residual energy we were exposed to. Most are instantly hostile, but we discovered some are able to retain a sense of self. At least, momentarily.
On our way back through the cafeteria, we get attacked by more phantoms. We can now head back to the engineering controls and open the door to access the main power controls. Warning. Station is utilizing Emergency Power Safety Protocol 12.5 enacted. Safety Protocol 12.5. In the event of a power surge, the secondary power cell unit will be ejected to prevent a breach of capacity which could lead to catastrophic failure of the Oracle's power supply. This action preserves the secondary power cell in case the primary power cell is damaged. The primary power cell remains in place to maintain emergency power for life support. A licensed engineer is required to confirm the safety and function of the power array. Once confirmation is received, the secondary power cell may be moved back into place. Once reconnected to the array, a mainframe reboot will be required to properly re-establish all connections throughout the Oracle station. Reconnect secondary power cell. Please be sure all personnel are clear of the conduit area. By select and confirm, you are verifying the power array has been cleared by a licensed engineer. Secondary power cell reconnection failed. Please consult your licensed engineer. Well, that didn't work.
One of the power cells dislodged in the last jump. The gravity. Restoring the gravity may pull the cell into place. If I can get to the control room, if I can No! They are coming!
And more phantoms appear. Among the phantoms, we find Nadine, and on her body, we find Nadine's log. As I write this, there are 3 of us left, Serac, Basira, and myself. We have all accepted the inevitable, that either we're destined to fall victim to these vortex phantoms, as Serac calls them, or we're destined to become them. I pray it's the latter. One final step into the unknown. The mortal aspect of me fears the change, but the scientific aspect hopes to embrace it. To my fellow scientists and loved ones, do not mourn me. Know that I've bore witness to unimaginable things here. My only regret is not having the tools to properly study them. But as I said, death is upon me, and all mysteries are soon to be solved. At the top of the power control room, we find another room. Inside, we find Serac's final log.
This is JVYZilla. Post-incident log. I am one of the few remaining unaffected crew on the Oracle. Nadine, Basira, and Taras are the only others I was able to find. I fear it is just a matter of time before we succumb to this energy that is turning the others. How long will we last? And will my mind be strong enough to hold out when my time comes? Basira and I have programmed the Oracle to return to Arun Kai's orbit once it is able. All of our research will automatically be transmitted the moment we are within Dasra's range. I pray our work here was not in vain.
At the end of this red room, we can use an emergency power cell and flip a switch to open the door.
These damn controls! Why will they not respond to me? Work, damn you!
Now we can help Serac out by turning the gravity back on.
Warning. Gravity procedure initiated. Please check your surroundings to ensure personal safety. Restoring gravity in 3, 2, 1.
And the gravity is back. Now before jumping down, we can check the engineer and lab computer for more info. Lab reports. Project ID 79354. Supervisor Dr. Nadine. Experiment 79354.10. Observation report baseline. Initial test of dual power cell integrity was successful. This was expected as our first test to record baseline data for standard usage. Efficiency readings 100%. System validations passed. Warnings generated 0. Experiment 79-354.27. Observation report overload. When induced, both power cells were able to withstand an overload of 125% before running failsafe protocol and ejecting. Buffering units safely dissipated excess energy with no harm to cell integrity. Governor correctly accounted for and controlled the ejection speed. A total of 5 warnings were generated, which was expected. Efficiency readings, 100%. System validations, passed. Warnings generated, 5. Experiment 79-354.30. Observation report, stress test and recharge. We ran the individual power cells through a simulation of the maximum energy usage for the Oracle station. Both were able to withstand the drain for a prolonged period of time, estimating their longevity to be approximately 30 years. Recharge simulation exceeded expectations, taking only 1 hour needed to reach minimum required power and 32 to reach maximum capacity. Efficiency readings, 100%. System validations, passed. Warnings generated, 2. Project live. Project ID 79-354 was approved for live usage for the Oracle station. Transfer of power was successful. Further experimentation has been postponed due to work on Operations Project ID 79-685, which will require full support. Only anomalous behavior will be noted until work on 354 may be resumed. Vortex anomalies. Vortex phantoms. Compiled data on vortex phantoms. Transformations. The vortex phantoms we've been encountering aboard the Oracle are definitely human members of our crew. We believe exposure to the energy surge from JAYZilla has facilitated this transformation. Some are instantly aggressive, attacking anyone unaffected. Others are able to maintain a sense of self and remain passive. It isn't clear what prompts the change from passive to aggressive, but the change appears inevitable for now. Movement. The vortex phantoms have some capability to phase. In simple terms, we've witnessed them disappear from one spot and reappear in another, and we've also seen them use this as an ambush tactic. Each phase is accompanied by a small burst of vortex energy, so our current theory is they are somehow using a vortex plane as a form of expedited travel. This ability makes me more certain the energy wave we encountered that triggered the initial transformations was related to grav drive technology. I've consulted with our remaining scientists, Sirach and JVYZilla, and they're in agreement. Due to the hostile nature of the majority of the vortex phantoms, it has been impossible to gather more data, but I'm hoping we can find a way. Awareness. The passive vortex phantoms appear to have limited awareness of their surroundings. We've witnessed them acknowledge their aggressive kind, but when it comes to those of us who are unaffected, communicating with them has proven futile. The aggressive phantoms, however, seem to have no issues locating us, although some are more aware than others. We are unsure why a difference even exists. Both passive and aggressive phantoms appear to have issues interacting with their surroundings, but to what extent still remains to be seen. Vortex fields. The vortex fields are another result of the energy wave from JAYZilla hitting the Oracle station. The energy signature they present is visually similar to the vortex phantoms, but without being able to gather data from the aggressive phantoms, I haven't been able to compare the two to be certain. Initially, only 1 or 2 fields were discovered, but the numbers have increased with subsequent jumps, cutting us off from different areas of the station and our fellow comrades. The vortex fields allow nothing to pass, repelling those who enter. We can only speculate what interacting with these fields too much may lead to. Now that we've learned a little more about the phantoms, we can jump down to the main power controls and reconnect our secondary power cell. Secondary power cell reconnected. Optimal power restored.
Power cell connected. Report to operations for system reboot.
Now we can go back to the main room to find operations up here.
The vortex phantoms. Where did they go? Something is wrong. No! Not now! I have to Hold on!
And with that, Sirac turns hostile.
Into his eye!
On Sirac's body, we find an operations access card. We can use this to unlock the operations lab computer. Project ID 79685, Supervisor Dr. Sirac. Experiment 79685.10. Observation Report. Initial tests to utilize grav drive technology to open a sustained bubble have failed. We were hoping the ability to test in a true zero-G environment may provide more insight, but so far, our data has failed to show any promising leads. Experiment 79685.13. Observation Report. Several attempts with the same failed results. There was no evidence of any prolonged amount of time when an object jumps from point A to point B. A series of adjustments to our theoretical equation will be necessary. It will take some time to reconstruct a working algorithm. Experiment 79685.15. Observation Report. Another failure. Under our newest calculations, we discovered the Oracle may be unable to allot sufficient power to our laboratory testbed without needing to cut off necessary utilities. We have received permission to move forward with engineering project ID 79354, which Dr. Bozovic believes will give us the power we need to conduct a successful experiment. Now we can use our access card to unlock the operations controls. Initiate mainframe reboot.
Mainframe reboot initiated. Commencing protocol. Station lockdown completed. All major systems on standby. Mainframe reboot completed. Warning. Station jump procedure initiated. Please check your surroundings to ensure personal safety. Jump in 3, 2, 1. Execute. Jump completed. Station lockdown released. Initiating data transfer.
And we just grab jumped the Oracle into a new system.
Incoming transmission.
This is Dasra calling the Oracle station. We've received your transmission. Your orders are to send a representative down here immediately. It appears we have much to discuss.
Gotta feel bad for Sirac. At least their efforts weren't in vain.
With that, we've completed our quest, What Remains? Now we get a new quest called The Promised, Broken, and can head out to Dasra. And that was the Oracle. I had a great time playing through this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want more Starfield content like this, give this video a like, and let me know if there's anything I missed. Thank you for watching, and peace out.